Hello, welcome to another short drawing lesson. This week we're going to do Malcolm Campbell's 1927 Bluebird, with which he did nearly 200 miles an hour. So I thought to make it more fun, we'll do the car in motion. So we'll add a few whiz lines and things. The first thing we'll do is a front wheel over on this side. And notice I've done it slightly oval, it's sort of leaning over slightly. That's a bit like those old photos you see of cars where they were taken with a slit scan shutter that made the cars look like they were leaning. But it adds to the feeling of speed. Now the next wheel, the wheelbase for this is 3 wheels. 1, 2, 3. And that's where the next wheel should be. I might take a tiny little piece off just to shorten the wheelbase a tiny bit, just because it's such a long car. Again, slightly egg-shaped, just leaning over a bit. You can do it round if you like. Next thing we need is the bottom of the car, which is fairly low, horizontal down there, and it extends out the other side here. And it goes to if you can sort of add an extra wheel and a half at the back, just below the height of the axle there. That's kind of the back end of the car. Next, for the other chassis rail, we need a line that comes from here, level with the centre of the front wheel, all the way down the back and drops off slightly to meet this line about here somewhere. So it's just kind of mostly straight and then it drops off a bit, something like that. We can put a vertical line at the tail here. The front radiator is, imagine a line coming out the middle of the front wheel, which has a bit of an angle on it, so about that kind of angle. And now we'll put a little mark here, and which is a sort of waypoint that we need to go through. So for the top edge of the car, we need a line that starts actually a little bit lower than this slope, about here, curves upwards, goes through there, and then drops down through there again. So something like that. You can extend your line slightly if you want to. Just it'll add a feeling of speed. Now we need the cutout area for the driver, which is just in front of this rear wheel, almost vertical but not quite. So just a little box shape. You can make this front edge of the cockpit vertical. And also there's a headrest that comes out behind that's vertical, and that curves down and meets the top of the body part way along the top of this part there. And there's a small sort of cowl in front there, so bodywork comes up slightly, and that has a little windscreen on as well. So we've got our basic shape down, it's looking pretty good. So now we do some details. We can put a slight curving there. If you don't line here, don't put it vertical. You want a slight curve to it, and that will just give the feeling that this body has got a curved shape rather than flat side. And I've got another one of those back here. A bit less curving, that one, because it's nearer the centre of the car, so things will be straight in the middle area and curve more at the ends. And then in this space here, we almost split it in half, but not quite. Under this line here, we've got a kind of a wing shape. So it's a bulge in the side of the car, which has the profile of a wing. And it stops when it gets just in front of the cockpit. And underneath that, we have 4 exhausts sticking out. And you can darken it there as if there's a hole that they're poking from. There's a Napier Lion engine, this one. Perhaps we can darken all of the underside there. So what other details have we got? We've got a little hole here with maybe the handbrake. And then there's a flag. We've got some rivets around the side of this panel. I think there's something there. Don't know what that is. There's various sort of bolts and fastenings, and there's a steering arm here. And underneath here we can see little rows of rivets and things in the chassis rails. And poking out each end of the back wheel we've got the springs. And what else do we need? Well, now I think we can add some speed. So a bit of depth. We'll show the wheels on the far side. Definitely need to see those on a car this long. We'll darken the underside so it's in shadow. And have some spray coming up with some little stones or bits of sand flying around. And the shadow underneath the car. I always like to do these cartoony, so that slightly below the car, so it looks like the car's bouncing and flying through the air slightly. It's flying along, which they did sometimes at places like Brooklands that were quite bumpy. And we need a driver, so it needs to be quite small because the car's enormous. Pop a little head in there, some goggles. Body, and it can be, he's wearing dark clothes. In there somewhere. And I like to do these kind of whiz lines as if it's steam or smoke or something. I don't know what it is, but it helps with the feeling of speed. Maybe some subtle whiz lines around the wheels there. And if you're racing on the beach, you always get some little bits of some splashes and streaks of mud on the side of the car. And there we have it. There's Malcolm Campbell flying along the beach at Pendine. Hope you enjoyed that. Tune in for another one soon.